sure a lot of us can relate to that. And maybe you can relate to this. Maybe you're too busy for time with your spouse, the kid's babysitter called in, you forgot to pay rent, the bills are late, or you unexpectedly lost your job. 2020 has already started. The complete opposite of how you planned. Life can really get you down. Dr. Kenleigh McMinn, a clinical psychologist at Baylor Scott & White, is here to discuss anxiety treatments and everything we basically just talked about with Paige also. It's life. That's what it is. And we just need some guidance here, so thank you for your professional help. But first, the difference between me just exclaiming that I am stressed out and then knowing that I am clinically diagnosed with anxiety.
Absolutely, and it can be such a difficult thing to distinguish because both stress and anxiety to some degree are really natural emotions for anybody to feel. I think we can all admit to having times where we are stressed and where we do feel anxious. I think the big difference comes with anxiety, where it's just sort of stepped up to that next level. It's to the point that it's causing a lot of distress and maybe even causing some impairment in terms of your ability to function day to day. People with anxiety tend to worry about just about everything most of the day, nearly every day, and may have other symptoms too, like not being able to focus or concentrate as much as they would like, trouble sleeping, even having physical symptoms like upset stomach, having lots of muscle tension or headaches, things like that. So that tends to be the main distinguishing factor, is just that level of distress and level of impairment that comes with anxiety.
It truly sounds debilitating.
It absolutely can be.
Yeah, now, if you're experiencing any of those symptoms, what steps can we take to try and overcome them even in just a little bit?
Absolutely. There are lots of different things that people can try, and I think it's important to talk about that treatment for anxiety or any mental health disorder is not a one-size-fits-all kind of treatment. So really it's about finding what works best for you, starting with things of just kind of the basics, making sure that you're trying to get enough sleep at night, limiting things like caffeine, which can interfere with sleep, but can also create anxiety symptoms. If we have a little too much, we get that jittery feeling. Doing enough to get like a good balanced diet, getting exercise, water, just kind of laying the groundwork for those really fundamental things. Beyond that, using coping skills that are helpful to you, listening to music, going for walks, spending time with friends and family, doing things to just help yourself have those moments of relaxation and calm. People often talk about like, I just need to find the time to do this thing, this kind of self-help, self-care time. I encourage people to make that time rather than relying on finding that time, because we are just always so saturated with things that we have to do. So really it's about making that time and that commitment to
yourself. Putting it in your calendar along with everything else.
Exactly.
Paying the bills, picking up the kids, feeding yourself. When is it important to... At what point do we know we need professional help? We need more help than just trying to help ourselves.
For sure. I would say if you've tried some of those things, those strategies that just don't seem to be working, if you find that you're still really struggling, or if others are noticing, if other kind of people bring it to you and say that they're noticing things in you, it might be worth reaching out and getting some help.
You know, the discussion around mental health has been a hot topic even just today on Good Morning Texas, but it's changed immensely over the years. How has this impact maybe affected those who are currently suffering from anxiety?
Absolutely, and I've been so glad to see the discussion that you guys have had here this morning, because I think a big part of what's happened is that anxiety is not new, but people, I hope, are feeling more comfortable with coming forward and talking about their experiences with anxiety, because that stigma around mental health, although there's still a long way to go in reducing it, it is coming down and people are being more open, and I think that's opened up more opportunities for people to speak out and to get help when they need it.
But what have you seen has made the biggest impact on people who are suffering from stress or anxiety?
I would say one thing that I see a lot just anecdotally is because we are so saturated and oversaturated, I would argue, with kind of media exposure and social media. We get notifications on our phone from news organizations anytime some terrible, scary thing happens out in the world. So we're just seeing a lot more of that and seeing a lot more of those kind of bad, scary things. And that creates a lot of anxiety for us, whether we recognize it or not. So even trying to limit our phone time, our media exposure, not saying that we need to turn off Good Morning Texas, but just sort of limiting those things and just being aware of our surroundings and trying to remember that it's not all bad out there in the world.
Okay, so don't get rid of your social media?
Not fully, but maybe take a little break or cut back.
I was really hoping you were going to tell me to do that. I was like, yep, I'm logging off of everything.
In that case, yeah.
Yeah, but not Good Morning Texas. This has been very, very helpful this morning. Thank you so much
Thank you
for coming in. If you can relate to anything we discussed right now, you probably would like to reach out or you want some more information, simply head over to their website. It is bswhealth.com. All right, thank you so much.